Good evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to tonight's live video.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Welcome to tonight's live. All right, give everybody a chance to hop in, everybody a chance to say hi. They're going to join us here at the beginning of tonight's show.
Cruising Chris is here. Good evening, High Seas Cruising fan. Bob's here. Hello, fellow High Seas cruisers, including Chris and Tiffany.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you guys here with us tonight. We had an interesting day. Tiffany has been filming her cooking video for Sunday, so that she did do it. It is done, and you guys will be able to see it this Sunday. And she made a above average attempt at some creme brulee.
All I can say is I'm sorry.
Wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. You know, the old adage, practice makes perfect. And of course, she will become perfect in time. So, first time she ever tried to make it. So there's some funnies going on over there.
There's a lot of funny. Cruising Chris says hi there, Tiffany and Chris. Connie says ahoy, mateys! Yay for the cooking video. Steve is here. Hello, fellow cruisers.
Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. So first, he's not here yet, or he hasn't hopped in here yet, but we had a great opportunity this week. Texas Cruiser Rick did his very first live video this past Monday. So we got to hop into his live, say hello, and take a look at him. So congratulations, Rick, on your very first live video.
Yeah.
Awesome job. It was nice to be a participant.
Instead of doing it?
Instead of having to do it ourselves, we just got to kind of run through the chat and have fun there. And it was nice.
Yes, it was. Nellie's here. Hey, family. Carolyn's here. Hello, everyone. Congrats, Rick.
So that was really cool. Nelly was over there. Attila was over there. A couple of names I recognized over in Rick's live. So definitely congratulations to Rick. James has joined us.
Yes. Hello, Chris and Tiffany and all High Seas cruisers.
James, 51 more days. We are counting down 51 more days till we are on Harmony of the Seas.
Attila says, hi, everyone. I enjoyed seeing Rick's first live. Yep,
it was good.
Chica's here. Hola, amigos. Won't be able to join today, but wanted to stop by and say hello. I will watch later. Well, thanks for stopping in, and hope you're having fun.
Absolutely. One thing I didn't do, and we'll have to do it when we get back. We've gotten some cool pictures over on Facebook here in this last month, and I know normally it was my plan to start showing those pictures at the end of the month. I kind of forgot it was the end of the month, and we've been dealing with Tiffany's video and some other stuff today. We'll definitely show those when we get back, because of course we are leaving for Tennessee here in just 4 more days. So there will not be a live next week. No live next Wednesday. We will be back in 2 weeks after tonight's show, because we're going to be off having fun with the family and the grandkids and just being utter tourists in Tennessee.
Nellie says, I will give my judgment when he comes in. James says, yep, and got me a couple High Seas t-shirts for the cruise. Well, that's awesome.
I did get an email that somebody had placed an order. Now we know who it was. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yes. Cruising Chris says, congrats, Rick. Sorry I missed your live.
Yeah, we didn't see it either until Monday afternoon. We actually was like, oh, Rick's going live in about 2 hours. We'll have to double check when he comes in if Monday's going to be his normal Monday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be his normal slot. We'll make sure we'll get the word out for him there so more people can come over and join Rick's live. He talks a lot about cruising, of course, and Galveston and things going on down in Galveston.
Yeah.
So, but I got to throw it out there. There's been some videos lately, and there's been some talk lately based on what was seen on a Galveston calendar that Margaritaville at Sea is going to be bringing one of their ships to Galveston. I absolutely hope that's true. Absolutely would love to have that ship come to Galveston in November of 2026. but it appeared on their calendar. It disappeared on their calendar. Theory is it disappeared so Margaritaville could make a big announcement. Again, I absolutely hope that's true. But I would like everybody to jump back and remember Icon appeared on there for a minute, disappeared, and we have no Icon ship. So I hope it's true, but we are not going to officially announce anything about Margaritaville at Sea coming to Galveston until we hear it from Margaritaville at Sea themselves. I want to hear it from them before we get everybody hyped up for something that may not come.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, just Cody is here. I hope y'all have been doing great so far this week. Here for the fun. We have.
mm-hmm.
We have. Hopefully, everybody else is having a great week as well.
It's been hot, is what it's been.
Hot, and then last minute throw togethers for the trip.
Yeah.
So Nellie said, I looked at it and they had 4 and 5 night cruises through December.
I saw it too. I hope it's true. I absolutely hope it's true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying there's been no confirmation from the cruise line. And I'm real big on making sure we get something from the cruise line first before we just go with it. But I hope it's true. If it's true, we're going to book it. We're going to be there. We'll be on the ship. I even went over to Margaritaville site just to kind of see if maybe there were some hints on it, and I cannot find anything about it. So,
just Cody said, where are y'all going again? We're going to
Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area. It's just it's a family trip. We're going up there to meet one of our daughters and go hang out with our grandbabies. We're going to have some family time. We're going to be doing the touristy stuff. She's got a whole itinerary of stuff that we're going to be doing. So there's still going to be videos and stuff of the trip. But yeah, it's going to be a family week. So we'll kind of be away from a lot of the social media. We have cool pictures, probably on Facebook.
Yeah. Attila says, yeah, wait for the official word for Margaritaville at Sea. They'll make a big splash and fun time. Yes.
Yeah.
Nellie said, I thought the same thing. Port of Galveston put Icon, then we got Symphony. Out loud.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying on that one is I'm going to take a wait and see type of approach and absolutely hope it's true. Fingers are crossed that it's true. I'd love to give that ship down here. I think that would be an awesome addition to Galveston.
Just Cody said, that's awesome. I have never been that way. Have fun and enjoy the family. We've never been there either.
Yeah, we've never been that direction either. We've looked at our route. We're going to be going up through Dallas and then hooking a right. And once we get past Dallas, we've never been that way before. So everything after Dallas is going to be brand new. And being from Texas, I personally, aside from the awesome fact we're going to see family, that of course is number one. We're going to see some mountains. And we're, of course, here in Texas, at least where we are in Central Texas, South Texas,
we have hills.
Yeah, we got some bumps.
Yeah.
We don't have mountains. And we haven't seen good mountains since Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
So really looking forward to some mountains. Plus, I've heard that the higher you go, the lower the temperature is. I saw a video where it said the temperature difference could be like 20 degrees from what it is in the tourist town up on one top of one of the mountains. I like the idea of it being 20 degrees cooler.
Yeah, especially since they're having a heat wave right now over there.
The feels like temperature is over 100. Yeah, so it's warm.
Yeah. Cruising Chris says 5 days until my Utopia of the Seas cruise, so looking forward to it. First Oasis class since Allure in 23. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, 5 days.
5 days. We have, what did you say, 51?
51 days to a cruise.
Yeah. Attila says, I still see the calendar has an ultra luxury line coming next year. Not that I can sell her.
Yeah. Was it? Is it Seabourn?
I don't know.
It's one of them. It's the Norwegian one. I believe it's the one that was coming to Galveston. And we can't afford to sail on her either. We looked at the prices of those cruises, and good God.
Nellie said, Chris, are you flying back home and then back to Florida later July for the Beyond?
That's not for us.
Gotcha. That's for cruising. Chris.
Yes.
Okay. JB Ranch. Evening, y'all. Spoiled and grandbabies. Got a few of my own. Enjoy. Oh, yep.
Grandma here absolutely intends to spoil grandbabies.
I've been saving money since we started booking this and planning this.
She's been putting her grandma money aside just for grandbaby spoiling.
Yes.
So.
Cruising Chris says, I used to live in East Tennessee when the kids were younger. We had season passes at Dollywood. We talked about going to Dollywood.
That one's up in the air. Maybe. It really is all going to depend on how the little ones are doing. Are they going to be able to, is it going to be so hot that they can't handle a day in Dollywood? That's really going to be the deciding factor for some events.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we make Dollywood. I'd like to go there once.
Nellie says July 31st, Mariner 4-night coming soon on the Regent.
Nice.
James says
Regent. Yeah, there we go. Regent 7 Seas.
James says I like the thought of having different cruises and cruise lines to pick from out of Galveston.
Yeah, it is nice having options, choices, different ships, a slight variety of itineraries, but different cruise lines, different ships, different opportunities, different experiences.
Carolyn says, have a great trip. Attila says, eye-popping expensive. Yeah. Wu-Tang Life. No one is talking about Carnival. The angry is real.
I've got all kinds of thoughts on that, and I will
keep
probably
telling him to keep them to himself.
I will probably add some angry with my particular thoughts, to be honest with you.
Nellie said, treat Dolly like Disney World and drag them kids, tired or not.
It's the littlest one. She has little legs.
Attila said, used to live in South Carolina, never made it to Dollywood.
I'd like to try once. Just to say I've been. It's one of those, at least I'd like to check it off the box experiences. Because I intend to go there. And I know for a fact from watching videos and there's a lot of tourist trap attractions up and down through there. I plan to visit them. I plan to be the utter tourist while I am there.
Yeah.
They're going to trap me.
Just Cody said, after last week's live stream, I was thinking about what I had said, and I completely don't know what I was thinking, but I will be platinum during my next cruise, not diamond, but platinum. That's still fun.
Yeah.
Andre's here. Hey, everyone. Cruising Chris says, hey, Nellie, no, I'm staying here. We have Jewel of the Sea and Oasis in between. It's the summer of cruises for the wife and I, spending the kids' inheritance. I love it. Bob says, did you mean the Regent wrinkled 7 Seas?
Oh, my God. Here we go with that one again. Somebody remembered that. Yes. Tiffany's wrinkled 7 Seas.
Yes. Just Cody. I did have some medical. Mary, I was smoking.
You got to do what you got to do to get by. There's no lie about that.
Nellie said Chris Moss is my hero. Andre says 44 days until I get a Guy's burger. Oh, I'm jealous.
I could go for a Guy's burger. We're going to get some Johnny Rockets, but I like some Johnnies. But I think Guy's Burgers is still my fave.
James says, no matter what you do, I believe you will enjoy Gatlinburg. It's a fun area with a lot to do.
Yeah, we've quickly discovered that we are not going to be there long enough. That's what we've realized so far.
And that's just for the eating, not necessarily the looking.
Okay, I'm for the looking. She's for the eating. But I will say, while we're not big drinkers, you will catch me in the moonshine store at least once. I saw a video where you can get them in to-go sizes, like little travel bottles. I do believe I'm going to collect a few flavors of moonshine.
You have fun with that.
I will hide the cameras after I drink them. Otherwise, we'll have a really entertaining video to post.
I'll have my camera. Nellie says, "Hey, where? Hey, Andre, not where."
Nellie's already
Yeah.
having some.
Andre's asking Nellie, "How are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like they're having a good night over there.
Andre says, "Need an excursion to do in Cozumel. Any suggestions?"
There's a bunch of good ones in Cozumel. Depends on really what you like doing. We've done a little bit of everything. I don't know. What was your favorite excursion we've done in Cozumel?
The turtles.
Saving the Season, but it's not available right now.
I know.
That's a very seasonal one, but Saving the Sea Turtles was good.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Sancho's is always good.
Yes.
Good food, friendly staff. Depends if you like water or not, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to get wet, snorkel, you don't have to.
The ruins.
That wasn't in.
That wasn't in Cozumel.
Well, yeah, there was once we went to the one that starts with a T, but remember it's the little ones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did see some ruins in Cozumel. We've done the underwater sea trek in Cozumel.
The helmet dive.
The helmet dive.
That was fun too. Andre's saying, "I want to try the helmet dive."
Yeah, we've done the catamaran excursions. At Mr. Sancho's. Did have a ton of fun at Mr. Sancho's.
Yeah, that helmet dive is really fun. They take you to Jenny's restaurant and you do the helmet dive there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to eat and they take you back. And they take you back in plenty of time to walk around and shop. And
yeah, because you can go back, come and go in a cab that's taken care of with your excursion. So yeah, coming back, Tiffany and I were the last two to ever go back. And then we still went in town and hung out and had a good time. So Cozumel is a great port. There's a ton of stuff to do in Cozumel that we haven't even gotten close to doing. We've snorkeled, we've paddleboarded, rode in jet skis, said saved baby turtles, did the helmet excursion, and I think we're just scratching the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nellie said low key Del Mar is walkable, 45 per person, all inclusive.
Yeah, that's the one. We've seen that one before.
Carolyn said we went to the orphanage and gave the kids bags of toys and coloring supplies, toured the local areas of Cozumel.
See, that would be cool too.
Yes.
Give back a little bit to your cruising community.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, Cozumel is just absolutely full of awesome possibilities. The ruins one I liked the best though was the one we did in Costa Maya.
With the monkeys.
Yeah, where monkeys are just randomly cruising around, and of course they had the giant Mayan pyramids there and stuff.
Nellie says Del Mar is 5 minutes from Royal Pier, probably 10 to 15 from Carnival. Aren't you on the breeze? Andre said, any sloths? I haven't seen any sloth in Cozumel.
Yeah, I don't know if sloths in Cozumel.
Carolyn said, going to the wrestling this fall. That would be fun. Bob says, we always enjoy.
That's the one.
There are plenty of choices available.
That's the name of the room.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try to pronounce that either.
I'm not going to try it. Just Cody said, yes, I've been to Del Mar a few times myself. It's great for the money, especially if you don't like a lot of people. Yes, no.
So yeah, so lots of choices in Cozumel.
We've even done in Cozumel. We did that adults only. It was
I forgot about that
house, and we got snorkeling and jewelry making and
food and pool.
Yeah,
and drinks.
And that one, it was I think there was only like 20 couples,
Yeah, it was a small adults only retreat, and it's very limited space wise, so you're not going to get a whole bunch of people. If you want something with kids, but I mean, even on the majority of our excursions, we've not had a lot of kid issues.
Mm-mm.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's not like kids have ever been a problem on the excursions. At least we've picked so far.
Mm-mm.
You know, I don't think parents as a general rule take a bunch of their kids to like Mr. Sancho's and places like that. There's other beach choices and options that are more family friendly that don't involve the gluttony that I partaked in Mr. Sancho's. I'll eat one of everything on the menu, and what, you have a drink? Of course, I'll try it.
James is asking if we're still doing Paradise Beach in Cozumel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if that's still the plan, we are absolutely down with that plan. We had such a blast at Mr. Sancho's. Paradise Beach is supposed to be comparable. I'd like to be able to compare them side by side.
Yeah. Carolyn is asking where that place was. I cannot remember. We found the excursion
Through the cruise line.
It
was called Adults Only Retreat, and we were on Carnival when we found it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen
And
it
it
on
was
any
probably about 15, 20 minutes from the port because we drove rode in a
Yeah,
van over
it's
there.
down heading towards it's north along the island. Same side as the cruise ships are on.
Yeah. Just Cody says, I think Paradise Beach is the best. Andre said, any reasonable shuttle service that will take you to the port of Galveston.
I'm going to throw that one back over to James. He's been handling the answering of that one because I always forget week to week what he says. I don't know why I cannot remember the name of that particular shuttle service.
I don't either.
It's probably because we've never ever used it.
Mm-mm.
Or used any shuttle service for Galveston since we drive.
Carolyn says, great. We will be on Carnival ship. I will look.
Yeah, take a look. I mean, if this was pre-COVID, but I want to say I've seen it since then. But
yeah,
I'm not 100% positive.
It was nice. It really was. They pretty much, you asked for it, they brought it to you. So Nellie said, I have heard saltwater moms. I don't know what that is. James said, yes, that's what I was going to do with Tiffany and Chris last time did Mr. Sancho's.
Oh, for the shuttle service.
Oh.
Saltwater moms.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, Paradise Beach, I'm looking forward to it. And that's such an easy thing to do. You buy your tickets ahead of time for most of those beach clubs. You can buy your tickets ahead of time. You simply walk out the cruise port, hop in a cab. They know where you're going. Then you catch a cab back when you're ready. Only thing is, remember, it's not through the cruise line, so watch your time.
Yes.
Because when you get there, it's all inclusive. So if you haven't been to Mr. Sancho's or Paradise Beach or any of the other ones that are all inclusive like that, it's all you can eat, it's all you can drink, and they are not shy. At least at Mr. Sancho's, they were absolutely not shy about bringing drinks. You did not have to wait or beg or nothing. We walked by the bar one time and the bartender was like, hey, come here. You look thirsty.
Yeah.
He goes, and I'm going to make this one extra special for you. And he did. And that was just for walking by. So that's something to keep in mind. Have somebody responsible with you.
Yes. Nellie said, my mom and I are going to Paradise Beach too. We have a cabana. And then Andre wants to know when you're going, Nellie. They even make drinks for you to go when you leave. Now, I didn't try that.
Yeah. I had quite enough while I was there.
James said, Andre and I did the Galveston Express. They pick you up at the airport and will take you to the hotel or the port and do have service from both Houston airports.
That's it. Galveston Express. I've got to remember that.
Nellie said July 31st from Galveston. Carolyn said never went to an all-inclusive. Are the water toys separate? Yes.
Well, no, I did. I want to say I was reading up on Paradise Beach because that's the one we're fixing to go to. And I thought some of that stuff was included, that you could paddleboard and do some of that stuff.
On Paradise Beach, I think you said yes, but like they had the water inflatables and stuff in Mr. Sancho's, but Chris was just playing in the water there and they ran him off because he didn't have a bracelet. So you do have to pay for the water.
Oh yeah, the big stuff out there. If you want to do the slides and the trampolines and all that kind of stuff, that stuff was extra. Mm-hmm. But I think at Paradise Beach, Tiffany's going to be able to paddleboard and things like that. And I don't think that's anything extra. Snorkeling equipment, I don't know. We carry our own. We have our own snorkeling equipment that we take, especially when we're going in the Caribbean, because we know we're going to swim.
Attila said, what's the smaller one? Nache.
Yes. Yeah, Nache Come, I think something like that is the third one out there. But I've heard really good things about that one too. Mm-hmm. So really sounds like an excuse just to go to Cozumel again.
Attila said, forgot the name, limited to 130 people. Good food, I heard, but never went.
So we'll be in Cozumel twice this year. So because we're going to be there on Harmony and we'll also be there on Seaside. So we'll have to see what's going on there in November. Yeah. You might still be able to see turtle in November.
Maybe.
Tiffany does like rescuing baby sea turtles.
Carolyn said, oh, my wish list, prescription snorkel gear.
Ooh, would probably even be better. You have a hard time seeing in your snorkel gear without your glasses?
Yeah, because I can't see without my glasses. That was one thing I did like about the helmet dive, because I could wear my glasses.
That's true. True, you could, huh? You could see even better.
Yep.
I never thought about it. I mean, I have glasses too. I never considered that maybe I would see the fish better if I had prescription snorkel masks. That's a good idea.
Yep.
Once we're fully retired and we're visiting beach areas more, we have to look into that.
Yep. James said, Nellie, that's awesome. We'll be there with Chris and Tiffany. James said that. Nellie said, we can all ride to Paradise together. I like it.
Heck yeah, it's cheaper.
Yep. Get a van. There you go.
Yeah. Throw everybody in a van. It'll be entertaining going, and it'll probably be twice as entertaining coming back because we'll all had probably some margaritas.
Yep. Carolyn said, what days are you guys going on your cruise?
August 16th is the sail date, and it's 8 nights. I think we come back like 26th, 27th. We're going to Coco Key, and we're going to Costa Maya, and then we're going to Cozumel.
Attila says, I will be there in the winter, so not sure a beach is going to be best for me for swimming and snorkel. Maybe it is. There won't be as much seaweed stuff. I do not like it in the water when it's wintertime. It's too cold for me.
But it's not cold. It doesn't, the water in Mexico and stuff around there most time doesn't get cold until January, February, March. Usually we've been in the water down there in November before, and it's still been warm. Mm-hmm. Warm. But if you are going towards the end of October and you're in Cozumel and you want to do something really cool, you can look at the Save the Sea Turtle one.
Yeah. It's some work, though. Don't think it's all fun. There was one lady that came back, and she was just so disappointed with it. She's like, they made me dig. I had to dig a hole. I'm like, well, how else do you think you're going to get the turtles?
Yeah, saving baby sea turtles is a really cool excursion to do. Like it's seasonal. You'll get it September, October, the beginning of November. But yeah, it is some work. You do have to dig all the way down to the turtle nest. And
It's like 3 feet. And
yeah,
you have to do it with your hands with gloves on.
yeah, it's pretty far. You're pretty much just your feet sticking out of the top of the hole as you're down there digging. But it makes it absolutely 100% worth it when you get a sea turtle, when you get a baby, and then you rescue the baby. But of course, there is always opportunity because you may not get a turtle.
Yeah, we were there with 2 other groups. One group found 3 turtles. We found 1 turtle, and the other group didn't find any.
And they didn't find any babies. But of course, you can go look at the babies with the other groups. So it's not like you're, so someone's waving their baby turtle at you going, haha, you suck. But yeah, you rescue that one baby sea turtle, makes your day.
Yeah. Just Cody said, awesome. I have a cruise out of New Orleans on August 31st. Looking forward to it on the Carnival. I don't know what all that is. Attila says it'll be around Christmas and December, so might be a little cool water or rough surf.
Yeah, then maybe.
Yeah. Carolyn said, yes, Tiffany, I will need to check the helmet excursion. Need glasses to see. Yeah, they do let you wear your glasses.
Yeah, because your head stays dry from the neck up. You're only wet from here down. Everything from here up is dry, so you can wear your glasses, your contacts, your hair doesn't get wet, anything like that.
Yep. Texas Cruisers here. Hello, folks. Attila, it's okay. I'll hang out at a swim up bar. And everybody's saying hi, Rick, and congrats on your first live. You did awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, you did. We actually talked a little bit about that at the beginning when and if you were going to be able to hop in tonight. But yeah, awesome job on your first live. Glad we could be there and help support that for your very first adventure out. That was awesome. It was great. Our question is, are you going to be doing that consistently Monday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time? Is that going to be your window that you're shooting for so we can let people know to be there? So, yeah, definitely throw a pitch for your live up here. That way we can share that information with everybody. Okay.
Everybody's just talking with Rick.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
That's what we're here for.
That is exactly what we are here for. Now, I wish I had a whole bunch of cruise news to share with everybody this week. Really, really don't. I'm going to be honest. The majority of everything going on in cruising, articles, stories, and everything like that has really been super centralized around Carnival and their new rewards program. The absolute disdain of comments has been heavy and flowing, and that's where a lot of people are focused on.
Yeah. JB Ranch says, I did the helmet dive, was wonderful. Make sure they hook up your airline. Was a little scary. Oh yeah, definitely make sure they hook up the airline.
Yeah, that could be scary.
Oh yeah. Yes. Nellie said it was great. You did forget high seas when you sang praises to Island Time.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Rick. No, I'm just kidding.
Live every Monday at 8 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, good. So there you go. Monday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Guys, hop over and you can check out Rick with the Texas Cruiser and get your latest and greatest Galveston news.
Texas Cruiser, oops. That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Rick, you did mention high seas cruising. I heard you.
I did too. He's like, oh yeah, and those guys are
Carolyn wants to know if JB saw any sea life on his helmet dive. We saw sea life.
Oh yeah.
We also saw stove.
Yeah, so they're really good. So naturally, you're going to see the normal Cosmels. You're going to see your Sergeant Majors. You're going to see, I don't know what the whitefish are called, but they hang out. Sometimes you'll see like little stingrays, and whether the rock stingrays, sea urchins, things like that. But the divers, they know, and they usually, ours anyway, he had like a little bag of chum that when you'd come around where he was waiting and watching everybody, he would release a little bit of that chum and the fish would just boom. And there's fish bumping your helmet and stuff like that because they all want a little bit of that. So you will get some up close and personal marine life experiences there.
Texas Cruiser said it was all a blur.
But yeah, the sea life, I've noticed that the sea life in Cozumel is usually pretty good. Now, it could just be me. Maybe it's something weird about me, but those big whitefish, they follow me when I get in the ocean. You've noticed that. I've pointed it out before. They must be like just super curious fish because I stop and there's one right here. I'll swim away and look back and he's still right there. They follow me around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I don't have this effect if we ever come across sharks. Just saying.
Yeah, because you're going to be on your own. That's going to be the fastest I'll ever
Yeah, Tiffany said, "Oh, look, shark, bye." She's yelling it from the shore already. There's a shark over there by you. Thanks.
Carolyn said, so they bring the buffet. Yes, they do.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
They make sure you're going to get a little interaction besides the ones that they're always swimming around anyway. They're going to bring them in closer to you.
Yeah. Nellie said, Rick is growing into a man, had his first live. Well, according to the live, he's old timer.
Yeah. For those who don't know, his new nickname is Old Timer. Yes. We are going to continue to spread that around.
Yep.
So if you're ever posting to him on Facebook, it's hashtag Old Timer, OLTIMER. Rick, you're welcome. I had forgotten. Tiffany reminded me. This is who did it.
I think we're all caught up. Fish snacks, yep, that'll get them moving towards you. Yeah,
they're real good about it. So
JB said, saw a lot. They had to force me out. Yep. Chris too. He wanted to be the last one.
I like to be the last one. You know, I want to get the maximum experience out of it. And they gave me air and let me cruise around underwater with the fish. I didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
You know, I often have to get chased out of the water.
Texas Cruiser or Nellie said Rick even changed his profile pic. Look at you. Texas Cruiser said it's under Texas Cruiser name.
But I completely lost my train of thought. My mind is on traveling and going. I know we're still 4 days away before we leave, but it is like 100% occupying my thoughts.
Yep. I started listing off everything I needed to do, and yeah, running out of time.
But I'm trying to think what cruise news I did see.
I haven't really seen any, just everybody upset.
Yeah. Everybody is upset, and I get it. I completely get it. But I will say this much. Look, these are corporations. Cruise lines are corporations. And does anybody really know of a corporation that cares about people? Honestly, they care about your money. They care about your dollar. They don't care about you. I will say, though, that the other cruise lines, boy, they are going to do their best to take advantage of this situation.
Yeah.
Royal Caribbean's got that ad out that says our loyalty doesn't expire. I saw a post from MSC Cruise Lines directly saying, hey, come on over, we match status. And that's great for everybody that goes and tries that out. I've always personally thought, try all the cruise lines, sail all the cruise lines, pick by ship, pick by itinerary, pick by what you're hoping to see and do and get, and not pick, same cruise line over and over again. That's never been the way we cruise.
Mm-hmm.
But just try to remember, even if you go to Royal, even if you go to MSC, even if you go to Virgin, Norwegian, whatever case, at the end of the day, they are corporations, and what they care about is your dollar. But that doesn't have to affect your enjoyment. That doesn't have to affect your loving of cruising. And that doesn't affect the memories you will make on a cruise ship, no matter what cruise line you sail on.
So Attila says in the Bahamas, they do the shark experience, but I don't know if they give snacks. It would seem dangerous to get them excited with folks in the water.
That's the point. They do give snacks. The folks in the water are the snacks. Just saying. I think they've given them a snack.
Nellie says, based on Carnival reactions, nothing is happening. This will stay the same.
I absolutely believe it's going to stay the same. A very unpopular prediction. I don't know if anybody's noticed it. I've mentioned it in videos over the last couple of years. When one cruise line does something, the others watch it, and then they follow along. It's been a pattern for years. Are the other cruise lines going to follow along if this is successful for Carnival Cruise Lines? And as much as people say things like their stock's going to crash, they're going to go bankrupt, they're going to sail with empty ships, all this other kind of stuff, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. It's not. Their stock's not going to tank. Their ships are not going to sail empty. They're still going to order brand new ships, and they're still going to sail full, because at the end of the day, hypothetically, they see a reduction in booking, they're going to reduce the cruise fare, and people are going to jump on it. It's a given. So no, at this particular point, they don't want to backtrack. They want the onboard spending. They want to see onboard spending increase. That's something that has been increasing for all cruise lines since the restart of cruising from COVID. Onboard spending's been a thing. They talk about it in their quarterly financials. They focus on it. They announce it. They say, hey, onboard spending is up. That is what they want. And I'm not picking on anybody, saying anything mean or anything like that. But when a corporation's chasing the almighty dollar, the cruiser that's cruised 100 times on that cruise line, yes, that's loyal, and they showed love to that cruise line. And you would hope that they would show some love back, but they're not going to. They've done the excursions. They don't do them anymore. They don't go to the spa. They may not gamble in the casino. They don't buy the drink package. They get on the ship. They relax. They enjoy themselves. They stay on in cruise ports, but they don't spend a lot of money. That is not the target cruiser. Not from the corporation's point of view. That's not who they want. That's not who they're looking for. They want the person that's going to come on and spend money. And that is what Carnival is gambling on. Whether you agree or disagree, like it, don't like it, and believe me, I get it. There's a ton of people that don't like it. But Carnival's not going to backtrack. They're not going to give anybody a lifetime status anymore. I know people are asking for that, but they're not going to do that either. I'm sorry. At least, no, I don't think so. I think that they're going to go on. So I say try other cruise lines. You may find one that you like better. Then again, Carnival does offer something that a lot of other cruise lines don't. They are the fun ships. You may go to MSC, which has a more European feel, a more European style. It's not what you're used to on an everyday Carnival cruise, and you may not like it. You may love it. You may go to Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean is a different vibe. They're all a different vibe. Hopefully the vibe meshes with you. Carnival's counting that it doesn't.
James asked a question. It got answered a couple times about Royal. Do you need to book the shows before the cruise? They said on the Oasis class you do.
Yes. So you will want to pre-book your shows on there to guarantee that you get a seat. There will be a standby line. Usually some of the standby line gets in, but never count on that. On these big ships, the theaters cannot accommodate all of the passengers on board that ship. Book ahead of time for everything that you can that you know you want to see. Even if you think you want to see it, because you can always go in later and say, never mind, I'm not going to go. Mm-hmm. And that seat will get opened up to somebody else. But yes, well, the way I do it is I still pre-book and I still arrive early, so you can still pick your seat, because pre-booking doesn't give you an assigned seat, just gives you a seat. So if you want something specific, still arrive early.
Texas Cruiser, did you see the Triumph documentary? Found it interesting. I laughed a lot.
We haven't seen it. It's on Netflix, and we don't have Netflix.
No.
Not this time around, anyway. We have a real weird, maybe it's weird to everybody, I don't know. But we do our streaming weird. So right now we have Disney Plus, where we always have Disney Plus because we have Tiffany, and we're using Hulu and Paramount Plus. And when we get bored of those, we'll switch to another one, and eventually we'll get back around to Netflix.
Yeah.
And then we go through and we watch all the stuff we want to see, get caught up on everything, and when we get bored with it, we cancel it and move on to the next one. So we are currently not in our Netflix phase.
Ellie said they're watching the poop thing tonight. Carolyn said, I have it on my watch list. Rick, glad you laughed. Maybe I will watch it sooner now. Ellie said, I can see Royal doing it if it works. Royal is top heavy with diamonds and Diamond Plus. And then Chris M was answering James. Carolyn, we will be in the Caribbean end of October and again early November. Attila says, I have a hunch the others will follow Carnival in due time. They are waiting to see what customers do, but it's coming.
I think that's going to be the case as well. They're taking advantage of it right now. Royal and MSC, they're playing it super smart right now. Because, people are I'm going to go book with Royal, and they say they're booking with Royal. I'm going to go to MSC because they'll loyalty match me, and they're hoping to attract those people. MSC in particular, MSC has already said they want to be number one in the United States. They want the majority share of cruising in the United States. They've already said they're going to build the world's largest cruise ship to topple Royal Caribbean. So for MSC, just a gold mine right now, because they're going, oh, they took your loyalty. So sad. Come over here. We'll give you some. Will it last? I don't know. They're still a corporation. They're still chasing the almighty dollar, but MSC wants that lion's share first. So they're absolutely going to take advantage of that.
Cruising Chris at Texas Cruiser. I watched it last night. Yes, there were many parts that were funny to watch. Probably not so much to experience. I imagine not. At Connie, those people also enjoyed their cruise. They didn't cruise to help out Carnival.
That's one big thing. And I saw some comments that I guess I didn't understand. I saw a comment today where they talked about they were mad and they were upset, and I got that. And they said things like, we got married on a Carnival ship. We raised our kids on Carnival cruises, and we've had anniversaries and birth dates and all these memories on Carnival cruise ships, and now Carnival has taken all of that away. And I don't get that. Just because the corporation does whatever damn corporations do, and they're always out to hose you for $1, they can never, ever take away the memories you have made cruising. They can't take away the memory that you got married on board that ship. They can't take away a birthday. They can't take away an anniversary. You may choose not to celebrate with them in the future, but they can never, ever take away the enjoyment that you got doing all of those cruises. So don't let them take that from people. Don't tell people you think that they can.
JB says, I believe this new loyalty is after the new cruisers. Just my opinion.
It is after the new cruisers. How many times years ago, and I don't see it quite as much anymore, but who remembers, when cable was big? Everybody had to have cable if you wanted TV before streaming became big. If you were new, signing up for the very first time, you got the absolute best deals. You remember that? Mm-hmm. You got lower prices, better deals, good for 12 months, good for 24 months. Cell phones. Remember, if you were brand new to come over to AT&T and Verizon back in, before, if you were brand new signing up, you got new phones, this and that. If you were renewing an existing customer, someone that had been there for years, you didn't get any of that.
You got charged more.
You got charged more. Corporations chasing the new customer is been forever that I can remember. Even now, if you look through, you're watching TV and there's a commercial, an ad for a streaming service, sign up now. We'll give it to you for, X price for 12 months, 24 months. If you already have it, you can't get that. They're not offering that to you. They've already got you. They want the new, the new, the new. And that's exactly what the cruise lines are doing. Carnival's doing it. And while Royal hasn't changed their loyalty program, they're sure over there saying, we don't cancel our loyalty. Come see us. They're attracting new. MSC saying, we'll match. They're attracting new. They're all doing it in one way or the other. My only advice to everybody out there is remember, at the end of the day, it's a corporation. They do not love you. Okay? So do what's best for you.
Carolyn said we went transatlantic on RRCL and it was named the Stinky Ship. Yep, sewage backup. Our balcony became popular. Glad you had a balcony on that one.
Oh, the toilet paper bandit has struck again.
Attila says all ships with Carnival are sold over 100% capacity for the rest of 25. So why back down? They sold out. So keep the new program is what they'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Nellie said, right. Old time cruisers don't buy anything. Why do you think Utopia is doing 3 and 4 night cruises? They chase after the dollar that a 7 night may not bring.
And let's not pretend like cruise lines haven't been doing this forever. Okay. This may just be the major program that Carnival's put out, but casino players, they've been doing it forever. The more you play, the more you pay and lose, the more they offer you with in-run to get you to come on back and do it again. Casino's been on the rewards program forever.
Bob says, I'm waiting to see what the points will relate to on Carnival.
I am super curious about that too. That's the one thing that they haven't come out with. That's the one thing they haven't, released as to specifically, okay, if I want a laundry perk, I want to get a free bag of laundry. How many points is that going to be? How many points is a drink? Is an excursion? Is the specialty meal? I know they've got that on there that says, up to 2,000 points, 2,000 of, but boy, that's a broad, and then over 10,000 points. Well, a 3-night cruise is listed under the category of more than 10,000 points. But that could mean that that's 200,000 points. That's more than 10,000. I would like to see a itemized list of what these things are going to be. Because I would kind of think that if it was really good for the cruiser and it was going to be something really in their benefit, wouldn't they want to put that out now? Wouldn't they want to put out a little more details to say, hey, look, you can get a free drink and it's only going to cost you 100 points. That's not terrible. Or they're going to be, yeah, you can get a free drink, but it's 5,000 points. Well, that's awful. There's a whole bunch of data missing.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that.
Carolyn says, Bob, we will be on the Valor and Liberty out of NOLA during
doing a backtrack.
Back to back. Texas Cruiser said, no, the experience was really tough. Donna just missed that cruise by a couple of weeks. Before that cruise, we came off Triumph thinking that she needed to go in for a refit.
Apparently she needed to go in and get renamed.
Yeah. Carolyn said, oh, Rick, you had a connection. Attila said, I sailed Triumph after the repairs from the poop cruise. It was great and fun, and ship was nice, no smells. Cruising Chris says, Virgin Voyages will status match too.
Yes. And I was reading, there were some specifics on Virgin though. There's some things they won't match, and some things you don't earn points for, and some other things like that. And that's great. Virgin has a lot of things over there too, but will a Carnival cruiser like a Virgin Voyages cruise? If you're a foodie, you probably will love it. If you're the type that likes to hang out in the swimming pool all day, their pools are super tiny. They're more like large hot tubs. If you like having a drink package, Virgin doesn't do it. They do bar cash, which essentially means you just pay for your drinks ahead of time. But gratuities included, Wi-Fi, things like that. And like I said, I heard it's a foodie's cruise from get-go. And if you definitely don't want kids, that's for you. If you want a tattoo, that's for you. So,
where are we at? Texas Cruiser said, Carolyn, yep, we really dodged a bullet. If it was a hurricane, we would be in it. I'm a hurricane magnet. Carolyn said, Rick, not a good magnet to have.
I'm going to have to ask Rick to please don't be on our ships. Please go to me.
He is on the one ship, isn't he?
He's going to be on the MSC ship. Yeah, we got a hurricane's going to chase us across the Gulf now.
Yeah. Texas Cruiser, that was a great time to sail Triumph Attila. I thought it was a hood ship other than that. Carolyn at JB, you are so right. Everyone is cruising after COVID. It is cheaper than a land vacation. It really is.
It really, really is. And that's attracted a lot of new cruisers, and cruise lines are banking on that. They're banking on trying to keep it that way and continue it that way, even with the price increases.
Mike from Nebraska. Hi, Mike from Nebraska. Says, hi, guys. Agree on once one cruise line gets away with it, the others will do the same. Absolutely. I believe that too. Just Cody, a cruise equals 1,000,000 points. Laugh out loud joke.
You may not be that far off.
Carolyn said, Chris, did you know that you were good at math? Great convo. Mike from Nebraska, you can go to many Mexican resorts, all inclusive, including airfare for less than 1,500.
I've seen some of those.
Yeah.
I have seen it. It is absolutely possible.
Using Vacation Superstore here in Omaha and some in DR. At Carolyn. That's from Mike. Just Cody says, I'm cruising on the Carnival Liberty out of New Orleans, August 31st, going to the Keys, Nassau, in the new private island for Carnival. That's the rest of what I thought I typed earlier.
Ooh, so you're going to go to Celebration Key. You have to tell us about that. How you actually experience it. There's a lot of weird information out there about Celebration Key. It hasn't opened yet, so we're not getting any firsthand reports. What I'm really curious about is what they're going to try to charge you for if you want versus what you get included. You're supposed to get like a meal voucher versus, most of the other ones, including Half Moon, they just opened the lunch place and you went and eat. Mm-hmm. But with multiple venues and different options and choices. I'm curious to see how Celebration's Key's going to work. Is it going to be good for the cruiser? Is it not going to be good for the cruiser? And we'll have to wait and see what the cruising opinion is.
Mike says, we have used them to go to Jamaica and Aruba. They get you a nice shuttle to and from the resort. We have thought about going back to land vacations, but love to cruise.
We've considered some land vacations. And I think in the future, we would at least want to try it.
Yeah.
To have an honest comparison. Right now, though, I mean, part of cruising for me is the ocean. Just to be out on the ocean. It rocks me to sleep so well at night. And you wake up someplace new. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to say no to that.
Yeah. Different cultures, different experiences.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we do love Mexico.
Yes. Just Cody says, I definitely will, Chris, and take plenty of pictures. Mike also says they send out an email Monday or Tuesday with all the specials. Carolyn at Cody, I think the Liberty will be in America by then from dry dock. We are doing a back-to-back on Mariner of the Seas in October. Bob's doing a back-to-back.
Awesome.
And then Texas Cruiser, I still love the Oasis class ships. We are booked on Allure out of Galveston next April. My Bay cruise and plan to book Symphony out of Galveston too.
So I'm definitely looking at Allure again and definitely looking at Symphony. But right now, those are really dependent on how Tiffany feels when she gets off of Harmony. I need her to experience her first Oasis class ship and see if she's going to give it the thumbs up or the thumbs down. If she absolutely hates it, then I might have to do a little solo cruising to get those ships. So kind of waiting to see how she's going to feel about it. I think she's going to like it. I think she's going to enjoy it, love it. She's going to get lots to eat, try new things, and she's going to be happy about it. But we'll see.
So Mike said the airfare costs as much as a cruise does unless you have casino deals. That's part of why we don't do that. Liberty will be in Galveston late next year. Cody at Carolyn, yes, it definitely will. It just got out of dry dock, I think. Texas Cruiser says, "Oh, I know Tiffany will love Harmony."
I would like to think so too, but Tiffany has thrown me for a loop before. I'll swear up and down she'll like something, and then she'll be like, "Nah, I don't really care for that." So, and she might come back and just say no because I think she will. See.
James says, agreed with Mike on land vacations, but I'm one that loves to sit on my balcony and enjoy the ocean breeze and views.
Yeah, there's a big pull just from that experience right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I get if we went to a beach resort in Mexico, we could stand out on the beach, still watch the sunrise, get ocean breezes, but something about cruising on it.
Cruising Chris says at Texas Cruiser, I have Utopia and Oasis booked for this summer. Carolyn said Liberty canceled their first cruise after dry dock because the workers were upset.
Yeah, they had some kind of work strike. Carnival's actually trying to sue that dry dock because it delayed the dry dock. They had to pull the ship out of the dry dock, move it to another country, put it in another dry dock, and cancel the June 6th sailing on the Carnival Liberty. Carnival's looking to recoup that money from the dry dock company. I think they're after them for like $4 million.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Cruiser said, just take her to Wonderland on Harmony.
That may be the thing that hooks her. That may be the one thing. She's going to Wonderland for sure. No ifs, no ands, no buts. That's the promise I had to make for her to even go on the Oasis class.
Yes. And then Mike from Nebraska says, okay, I'm going into the pool. Y'all have a blessed night. You too. Thank you for joining us, Mike.
Shoot, I want to go in the pool too. It's hot outside.
Yeah.
You got this. I'm gonna have to go to the store and get a pool, but you got this.
Just Cody said, oh crap, that sucks for those cruisers. And then Rick says, we started booking the Central Park balcony on Harmony. It's an excellent cabin.
Yeah, I mean, it does suck for those guys, but at least this one time, this isn't Carnival didn't do it. Some kind of dry dock worker issue that started right when the ship basically got into dry dock, and Carnival did what they could do. They found some other place to take it, but they still had to pull it out, move it over, put it back in dry dock, and essentially start again. And unfortunately, it did result in a cruise cancellation. But those people got a 100% refund and like 100% future cruise credit. Carnival took care of them.
Yeah. Carolyn said, we have changed from balcony to an inside room with the window. It is less noisy, and our view doesn't have a tinted window. And Nellie said, Casino gave me ocean view balcony for Harmony. I will take it.
I would too. Right now, we have a room on Harmony of the Seas. We don't know where.
It's somewhere on the ship.
Yeah, we have a room somewhere on the ship, in theory. Royal does have this weird issue on some of their Oasis class ships where they oversell the ship. That would be our luck. But it won't happen. It won't happen. I will say this much. If that theoretically was to happen, usually what they offer you is pretty good. And sometimes it's worth taking.
Yeah.
So, but we're not looking for that or hoping that that happens in any way, shape, or form. So, but I think we are going to get ready to wrap up today's live.
Carolyn said I have one of those rooms booked too.
It's fun. It's a roll of the dice. Where am I going to end up on the ship? See, I have no luck in the casino, so we play with our room category instead.
James said, well, Chris, you and Tiffany can come enjoy the balcony with me.
We have a balcony. What our balcony is looking at is the real question. We have a guaranteed neighborhood balcony right now, which could very much work out in our favor, especially if you like aqua shows. You get one that's just right, maybe closer to the rear of the ship. You could get a pretty good view of the aqua show and not have to stand in that line. That's a possibility. We also have our Royal Up options in, so we could end up a whole other place in category. It's a fun game to play with Royal Caribbean. What is that noise?
I don't know. A bird.
Oh.
Have a safe road trip and kisses to the grandbabies. Definitely.
Definitely. Now, of course, we are still going to have videos coming out here the next couple of days. We'll have Saturday's video. Tiffany's cooking video will be on Sunday, and I should have some stuff pre-recorded for while we're gone. On Facebook, we'll be posting, what we're doing, what's going on. We'll be posting pictures that we get, things like that. And of course, we will be filming, making videos. I might even throw some short videos up, just some little clips along the way to share with everybody. But we will be back in 2 weeks to do a live video.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, starting Monday all the way through the following Monday, our schedule is a little sketch after that. So we'll put out what we can. Hopefully I have enough material to get through the majority of the week anyway.
Yes.
So, Rick, we will unfortunately be missing your show this coming Monday.
But we'll catch it.
Yeah, we'll catch it in the reruns. We will not be there for the live because we will, of course, be driving at that particular moment, or hopefully in a hotel by then. You never know. I get weird and sometimes be like, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
And so that'll be fun. But we will definitely catch you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
We'll be back for that show and everything like that. So, yeah, we're going to hop off here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We really appreciate it. Love having you guys here. Love the conversation. Good to keep it going. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great week. We'll tell all the grandbabies hi from everybody. My daughter occasionally pops in on the lives. So that's always cool.
All right.
Are we missing everybody?
We got everybody. Everybody's saying good night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and have a safe trip.
Yeah, Nelly will be there, and he'll definitely keep you something. he will definitely keep you something. But all right, yep, we're gonna hop off of here. Get ready to call it a night. See you guys back here live in 2 weeks, and of course, like always,
We'll see you out on the high seas.
good night, everybody.